And this is Ilona. We're gonna just follow her recipe today. Alright, so today's video is going to be a little fall holiday recipe, and it's not just any recipe, it's one that originally came from somebody who I follow on YouTube. Her name is Ilona, and she goes by Chikara Transformations, and she's an online fitness coach and a bodybuilder, and she lives in Bulgaria. And so what's cool about this is that I actually did her fitness program this past spring. It's called Veganizing, and it's basically a comprehensive training program that's customized depending on what goals you have. So when I did it, my goal was to really increase my strength and reduce body fat, and that's pretty much exactly what the program did. Like, I hit a lot of strength PRs doing her program, and I think it was a 3-month program. And I really enjoyed it a lot. It was a totally different way of training. She had weekly Q&A sessions for people who were signed up for the program, and she answered every question, and she just made herself available even outside of the live streams, which was really nice. So I like the way she trains. I like watching her fitness journey. I like it when she does bodybuilding shows, and I enjoy like cheering her on and interacting with her on Instagram and on social media, and she's just overall like a very cool person. So I wanted to take her oat bake recipe and veganize it. Obviously I'm vegan and Ilona isn't, so she uses a lot of egg and whey protein and stuff like that. So I'm basically gonna use her base recipe and make it vegan. So I've never done this before, so we'll see how this turns out. All of the ingredients are here. All the ingredients look really good. I'm just hoping that the texture and everything turns out the way it's supposed to, because sometimes you really do have to play around with different ingredients in order to get the right texture for whatever it is, especially if you're baking vegan stuff. So I tend to be pretty good with knowing how to work around stuff, but sometimes stuff happens and it doesn't work out. So I'm hoping this works out, but either way, I'm sure that this will be good just based on what the ingredients are. I'll include everything I use in the description box below. And this is Ilona. We're gonna just follow her recipe today and then use vegan substitutes for the non-vegan stuff. So let's do it. And you know, on this channel we track our calories. So I put the ingredients and everything that I'm gonna be using in MyFitnessPal, which is nice because then I can save that recipe if I ever wanted to make it again later, and then I'll know that I'm making it the exact same way, so I can just use this to track my calories. So I put everything in MyFitnessPal, and basically the macros are supposed to be, so for 4 servings, I'm just assuming it'll be 4 servings, the calories are 148, the fat is 5.1 grams, carbs are 17, and protein is 7.8. So that's where we're at right now. I might adjust some of the ingredients, like the amounts, as I go if the consistency isn't looking quite right. So I might add more protein powder, I might add more applesauce or something like that. So we'll see how it goes.
Honestly, it's amazing. You can stick it in the air fryer, you can do it in the oven. So let me preheat my air fryer. I put it on like the pie setting at a temperature of 180 Celsius for 25 minutes.
Okay, so we don't do Celsius in America, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just preheat my air fryer like she said, and I think whatever she said Celsius is about 350 Fahrenheit anyway, so I'm just gonna do that. Now we can't actually dance while the air fryer is preheating because we actually have to work, so I'm not gonna do a dance break right now. I'm gonna just get to work in mixing the stuff. she oven roasted her squash and mine is just ready to go. Oh, that's just need a little bit. Perfect.
30 grams. 1 large egg.
Aha! So, we're not doing eggs up in here, Ilona. So what I have to do is figure out the conversion for applesauce to 1 egg. I'm gonna confirm with the old Google machine. A 1/4 cup. So I need a 1/4 cup of applesauce for 1 egg. If I can open it. Obviously, I didn't do her program long enough because I can't open this jar. Okay. What's next?
100 milliliters of egg whites.
Okay, so 100 milliliters of egg whites. Obviously, that's not happening over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a flax egg. So I'm gonna have to do some math. So basically 100 milliliters of egg whites, I'm gonna try to convert that into 100 milliliters of flax egg. So let's see how we're gonna do that. And 100 milliliters is just under a 1/2 cup. So I need just under a 1/2 cup of flax egg whites. So that would be about 6 tablespoons total. So I use 1.5 tablespoons of ground flaxseed and 4.5 tablespoons of water. That'll give me 3 egg whites. I think we're gonna start there. And I'll just let it sit for a little bit so it can settle in and turn into some egg whites magically.
Okay. Some salt.
Oh, salt. Oh, that's a lot of salt.
Pumpkin spice mix, which is literally, if you don't have it, you can make it yourself. It's cinnamon, mostly cinnamon, some ginger.
I did not make my own pumpkin spice, but that's okay.
I like to put through there a little bit of ground coriander, some cloves, and some nutmeg. That's basically it. So I have my own version of that here. I like to put in maybe like 2 tablespoons because I like it spicy.
I like it
Or maybe
spicy
1
too.
tablespoon. And then finally, 20 grams of whey protein.
Alright, so she's using her whey protein. I'm gonna use this bad boy right here. Now this has been on the channel before. This is the PE Science Select Cinnamon Delight flavor. I've been using this protein for years. So instead of using 20 grams, I'm just gonna use a full scoop. I might even use a scoop and a half. So I'm gonna use either 30 grams or 45 grams. I'm just gonna see how what the texture is looking like. Okay, so I used 45 grams of vegan cinnamon delight protein. So I'm just gonna update that in here in my recipe. And I added the salt and I added the pumpkin spice. Okay. Alright, so the flax egg is looking pretty good. It's looking gooey. Eggy. So I'm gonna put that in there. And then later on she said after it's all mixed, she's gonna add walnuts. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna see how the texture is and then see if I need to add more liquid or if I need to thicken it up with some coconut flour or something. So let's see what happens when I start mixing. Okay, let's talk. So I added in more protein powder than she did, which is fine. It's just extra dry, so what I need to do is add some more liquid in here. And I know the flax egg that I made is not as liquidy as the egg whites that she had. So what I'm gonna do is add some more liquid, but I wanna add a little bit more protein too, so I think I'm gonna add soy milk in here so that the consistency of this one starts to look a little bit more like hers, because hers is a lot more liquidy. Soy milk to save the day. So I'm just gonna start out by adding a little bit of soy milk. I'll just start with like 1 ounce. So I can always add more if I need to. Okay. So that's better. I'm gonna add another ounce. And just for the record, this is like how I do all of my recipes. I always add stuff or take stuff out depending on like how the mixture is going, which is why I like to record it all in my Fitness Pal, because I never know, I can never remember what I'm adding and what I'm taking out. So tracking it just helps me remember so that I can make it the same way the next time. All right. This is looking much better. Maybe a 1/2 ounce more soy milk. Alright, so that's much better. Just gonna do 1 more 1/2 ounce. Alright, so it ended up being 3 ounces of soy milk. And I think that should be enough for this one. Oh yeah, that looks much better. Okay. So she also said she threw in some flavor drops into hers. Now this protein is very sweet already, so I am not gonna add too much more sweetness to it, but I will go ahead and add, you know how we do with the sweet drops. So I will go ahead and add 1 or 2 drops of this, just not a lot. So based on like other breads and like veganized recipes that I've made before, this seems like to be a pretty good consistency, because I know I don't want it to be too runny, so this seems to be pretty good.
So after add this
So she put the egg in there, stirred it up, and then she like licked the spoon. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that girl. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to do that.
15 grams of
But I will taste this one because there's no raw egg in this one. So let's see. Oh yeah, that does have a really good flavor. I'm glad I used the cinnamon protein because that's really good.
That's almonds, walnuts.
Okay, so she's putting walnuts in hers. I'm not gonna do that, but I just want to make sure. I think I covered everything, but I'm just gonna watch the rest of her recipe all the way through and make sure I got everything else. Okay. So next is just to put it in the air fryer. So I actually have these little oven safe ramekins that I'm gonna use. So what I'm gonna do is put just a little bit of this avocado oil in there to try to prevent them from sticking so much. And yeah, after that I'm gonna put this stuff in there, and then we're gonna air fry it for about 20 minutes. Okay, so here's what they look like. I'm preheating the air fryer again, but here's what they look like. Super cute! Alright, so I'm just putting them in at 350. I think we're gonna do 350 for 20 minutes. Okay. Alright, so I did already start making stuff for dinner, but the oat bake is done, so I'm gonna check on it and see what it looks like. Let's look at this oat bake. Ooh! Wow, that looks much better than I thought it was gonna look. I'm shocked. Is it done? Let's see if it's done on the inside. I gotta get this out of here. Oh yeah. Wow, that looks much better than I thought it was gonna look. Wow, I'm like really impressed. Very hot. Cute! Now I have them in MyFitnessPal in servings of 4, but I might just change it to servings of 2. So if I end up changing it, then the macros are gonna be, basically if I eat a whole ramekin, it'll be 339 calories, 11 grams of fat, 35 grams of carbs, and 22 grams of protein, which is pretty good. Let's see if it's done on the inside. Oh wow. I mean, it looks like it's done to me. I'm just gonna let it sit for a little while before I do the official taste test. That's always the hard part, is like letting the stuff you made like sit and wait. Alright. So this really is just like a little, it's almost like a little pie or like a little pudding. It is a little bit, what's the word? It's like a little bit softer than like a cake. So it's not quite like a cake, but it is like a mix between like a pie pudding cake, if you know what I mean. So like if you make oats, it does kind of still have that oat texture, but it's a little bit firmer than that, which is nice. So let's see. And putting a little bit of avocado oil in the ramekin really did help this not not to stick. Now this is still pretty hot. I didn't wait that long before I'm tasting it. Ooh, yeah, that's really hot. But it smells really good. I usually don't eat oats. Like I usually eat cream of rice or like high protein cereal or something like that, but this is looking pretty good. It's still pretty hot. That's actually really good. That's actually really good. Really strong cinnamon flavor from that protein, but I really like cinnamon, so I like this. I actually do think this might be 2 servings. It might not look like it's that big, but it's pretty thick, like dense. And it does have that pie texture, so this might actually be 2 servings, but yeah, this is good. This is a lot better than regular oats. That's really good. So yeah, I'll definitely be making this again for sure. I think if I do make it again, I might try it in the oven just to see if that makes any difference. I don't think it will, but just curious to see if the texture will be different. I don't mind this texture, but I do like more of like a cake texture, so I want to see if I can maybe get that next time. I might try it with like a spelt flour or like a buckwheat flour to see how that changes the texture, if it changes it at all. But this is really good. This would be good with like some homemade ice cream, so maybe I'll make a video about how I do my ice cream. This would also be good with some like maple syrup, or I think Ilona in her video, I think she actually had it with like pineapple and maple syrup, which sounds good too. I mean, this is good by itself, but it'll also be really good with like other things mixed into it, or even like some dairy-free yogurt would be really good with this too. So I really do like this. I think next time I will try to make it in the oven just to see what that's like. But it's nice to do it in the air fryer because it's just quick, and then I can use the oven to make other things. So this was a really good recipe. So thanks Ilona for the idea, and I'm glad I could veganize it and that it still tastes good using vegan products instead of the animal products. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you try the vegan version, definitely let me know. If you try Ilona's version, definitely let her know what you thought of her version of the original Oat Bake, but I'll definitely include her video down below. But let me know if you try this. Let me know if you use the same substitutes that I used, or like what kind of protein powder you used, or what kind of egg substitute you use. I was originally gonna use just egg instead of the applesauce, but I wanted to use like as whole food ingredients as possible, so I think the applesauce was perfect for that. But if you use any other kind of substitutes, definitely let me know, and let me know how it turned out. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel to see other videos that I have coming up, and hit the little notification bell so you know when I'm posting. I'm doing pretty well with posting every week, so you'll always see a new video from me and just nonsense and stuff that I'm doing that is always crazy and random. So definitely subscribe, like the video if you liked it, and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you tried this, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok on that corner of the internet, and follow me over there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!